welcome back to our class. This is Teacher Marie again. So last week we started our lesson about digestive system. Okay, so let's review about digestive system again. Okay, so in your book it says, how do we digest the food that we eat? Okay, we already discussed last week. We said that the food contain nutrients. Okay, we already studied that, and we said that carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, they are too big to be absorbed by the body, so they need to be broken down. Okay, so what are the processes needed to break down these nutrients? Okay, so in here you can see the bread is broken down into smaller pieces and then into substances that our body can absorb. Okay, and then water, vitamins, and minerals can be readily absorbed by our body. Okay, so this is the function of the digestive system, to digest the food that we eat, to turn the food into nutrients that the body can use, and then to absorb these nutrients and distribute it so that our body can use these nutrients. Okay, so this is the digestive system. I hope you will be familiar with the parts of the digestive system, because definitely it will be in your test whenever we can have classes in school. Okay, so let's review one more time. We have the mouth, esophagus, the stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. This is the flow of the food. Okay, remember, this is the flow of the food. So when we eat the food, it will go to the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. Now there are three other organs that are important in the digestive system, but the food does not flow. Okay, that does not pass these organs. Okay, this is the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. Okay, so let's review one more time what happens in the mouth. So in the mouth, there are three important things: our teeth, our tongue, and the saliva in our mouth. So the teeth chews the food, makes it into smaller pieces. The tongue helps to mix the food with the saliva and helps us to swallow the food. And the saliva contains the enzyme that digests starch into glucose. Okay, and then esophagus, we said that it is the passage of the food from the mouth to the stomach. And then the stomach. Okay, the stomach has gastric juice and stomach acids. Okay, the gastric juice contains enzymes that digest proteins. Okay, and then the stomach acids helps to kill the bacteria in the food that we eat. Okay, and then we have the liver. The liver produces bile. Okay, so the bile is needed in the digestion of fats. Okay, and then the gallbladder stores the bile. Okay, the gallbladder stores the bile. And then we have pancreas. Okay, so this is the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. Now the pancreas produce pancreatic juice that helps to digest carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And then we move on to the small intestine. Okay, so the small intestine, this is where the bile goes, because the fat will start digesting in the small intestine. Okay, and the pancreatic juice will go to the small intestine as well, and also the small intestine have intestinal juice. Okay, so they all help to digest carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Okay, and also the absorption of these nutrients will start in the small intestine. Okay, so in the small intestine, the nutrients will be absorbed into our body. Okay, and then the large intestine. Now, the undigested food, the food that we cannot digest, the fiber from fruits and vegetables that we eat, will will go down to the large intestine. Okay, and in the large intestine, it will absorb the water and the minerals in the food that we eat. Okay, now the undigested food will go down to the rectum. Okay, and it will become feces. We call it feces or stool. Okay, and then when we are ready, it will pass out of our body through the anus. Okay, so this is the digestive system. I hope you understood about digestive system. Okay, last week I asked you to answer this one. I hope you can answer this, no? It's very easy. Okay, answer it now, na? Okay, so for today, we're going to study about how do we keep our digestive system healthy. Okay, remember the function of the digestive system. It helps us to get the nutrients from the food that we eat. It provides us the nutrients. So if our digestive system is not healthy, we will have problems. Okay, so what are the ways to keep our digestive system healthy? Number one is wash our hands. This is very important, especially now. During COVID-19 situation, we really have to wash our hands as often as we could. But with regards to digestive system, it's important to wash our hands so that, especially before we eat, so that the germs, the bacteria in our hands will not go into our digestive system. So when we touch the food and our hands are dirty, it has the germs, then the germs will get in our body. It will enter our digestive system. So it's not good. So we should always wash our hands. Number two is to cook food fully. Okay, cook food fully, because cooking helps to kill the germs in the food. So we just make sure that we cook the food fully. Okay, and also we should also wash the fruits and the vegetables that we eat. Okay, if we're eating fresh fruits, if we're eating fresh apple, so we have to wash them thoroughly to remove the bacteria and the germs in the food. Okay, another way to help or to keep our digestive system healthy is to chew our food more. Okay, remember, we have to chew our food before we can swallow it. When we chew our food more, it helps the process of digestion, because the smaller the pieces of the food that we eat, that we swallow, therefore the digestion will be easier. Okay, see, it says here, when we chew our food more, the food is broken down into smaller pieces. Okay, and then this allows nutrients in the food we eat to be more easily digested and absorbed by our body. Okay, I hope this is clear. And then number four is to exercise regularly. Exercise regularly can help the digestive system because it helps prevent constipation. If you remember constipation, we already studied it. We said that constipation is the difficulty of passing of stool. Okay, so if we exercise, we can also prevent constipation. Okay, it says here we should have at least 150 minutes of exercise every week. 150 minutes is like more than 2.5 hours, right? So like if you exercise 1 hour 3 times a week, that's okay. Okay, and what are the other things can we do to keep our digestive system healthy? It says here we should exercise to prevent constipation. It means that if we eat fiber, we eat fruits and vegetables that has a lot of fiber, it can also help us to prevent constipation. Therefore, if you eat fruits and vegetables, it will also help your digestive system. Okay, another thing it's not here is that you eat at regular hours. Okay, if you eat at regular hours, then it will prevent diseases in the stomach or ulcer. If you're familiar with ulcer, if you eat at regular hours, then you will not have this disease or problem in your stomach. Okay, eat at regular hours. Okay, so we already finished chapter 1 or unit 1, nutrition and digestion. So we are just left with some of the pages in your workbook and in your student book. So this one is in your student book, page 24. Answer this. This will be your homework. Okay, homework. This is your homework for today. You answer in your student book, page 24. So fill in the blanks with the words provided in the box below. So there are only five items, but there are many choices. So you should understand all of this first, okay, and then try to answer. Okay, let's help. Fiber is a type of plant that is not digested by the human body. So you look at your book, what is fiber? What type of it? What kind of nutrient it is, okay? And then when we do not take in enough carbohydrates and fats, our body can use blank to produce energy. So if you do not have carbohydrates in your body and you do not have fats in your body, what can our body use to make energy? Okay. Number 2, food preservatives such as blank allow food to be stored for a longer time without going bad. So we have examples of food preservatives. You can look at your book. What are these food preservatives? Okay, and number 4, the blank produces bile, which helps in the digestion of fats in the small intestine. What produces bile? I just discussed this today. Okay, what organ produces bile? Okay, and the acid in the blank helps kill the germs in the food. Where can we find this acid? Which organ in the digestive system produce acid that kills the germs in the food? Okay, and then we're going to answer your workbook. Okay, so this is in your workbook, page 11. Okay, we're going to answer your workbook, page 11. So challenge yourself. Number 1, Chan carries out an experiment to find out how the size of food pieces affects digestion. He prepares 2 experimental setups, A and B, as shown below. Okay, so it's an experiment, and Chan wants to find out how the size of the food affects digestion. Remember earlier I told you chew the food more because it helps in digestion. So in this one, 50 ml of vinegar and a whole gummy sweet or gummy bear, whole. Okay, and in this one, set up B, 50 ml of vinegar and a gummy sweet cut into quarters. Okay, so in this one, the gummy bear is cut into 4 pieces. Okay, and this one is 1 whole. Okay, so he records the time taken for the gummy sweet to dissolve in the table below. So the gummy bear or the gummy sweet will dissolve. Okay, in Proton 5 we already studied about dissolve. Okay, so will dissolve. It takes 60 minutes for setup A for the whole gummy bear to dissolve, and it only takes 25 minutes for the setup B for all of the 4 pieces to dissolve. Okay, so letter A, you have to answer. What can you conclude from Chan's observation? What can you say? what can you say about this observation? What happens? Okay, you just write your conclusion. Okay? And for letter B, what does this experiment tell you about the size of the food pieces and the rate of digestion? So what can you say about the size and the rate of digestion? So you can say if it's bigger, is it faster or is it slower? Okay, if it's smaller, the food pieces is smaller, will the digestion be faster or slower? Okay. And this one, letter C, Chan cuts the gummy sweet into halves and places them in 50 ml of vinegar. Predict how long will it take the gummy sweets to dissolve completely. So in this one, he cuts the gummy bear only into two. Okay, this one whole pieces takes up 60 minutes. 4 pieces into quarters, 25 minutes. So if you only cut in half, only 2 pieces, okay, one gummy bear you cut in half, how long will it take for the gummy bear to, or the gummy sweet to dissolve completely? So you are going to predict. Just tell a time for how many minutes do you think this this 2 halves will dissolve. Okay, you just predict. It's okay, you don't have to compute, you just predict how long. Okay, it should be, what do you think? If it's 4 pieces, it's 25 minutes. If it's one whole, it's 60 minutes. So if you only halves, how long will it take? Okay, so this is the end of our lesson. Next week we're going to finish your workbook and then we will be finished with unit 1. Okay, bye.